the hush where copper dreams begin. Your name writes the arc between poles. Not thunder, your current thin and bright, stitches sky to silent coil. Tesla, you lit the dark with hands unheld. The electricity, not stolen, but sung from the glass tubes bloom with borrowed dawn, while men forget the man who gave them light. I trace your blueprints in rain on stone, each drop a circuit lost alive. Never learned to hold the flame. Still calling through the walls of time. Tesla electricity.
Tesla, the man who lit the world and died in the dark. Before the first stroke of paint meets this architectural panel, before the acrylic background crackles with the energy of a storm, I want you to enter the mind of a man the world could not contain. This 44 by 60 inch surface may seem rigid, industrial, and cold, but it is the perfect stage for a genius who lived in the machinery of the universe. A man who saw lightning not as a danger, but as a language. A man who dreamed in frequencies, spoke in equations, and touched forces human hands were never meant to hold. As the oil begins to sculpt his face over this acrylic field, remember this truth. Nikola Tesla lit the world, but in the end, the world left him in the dark. Let this painting be more than an image. Let it be an awakening, a reminder that brilliance often walks alone, and that humanity frequently destroys the very minds that push it forward. Now let us step into the storm. As this portrait of Nikola Tesla begins to rise from the acrylic background on this 44 by 60 inch architectural panel, I want to take you into the life of a man whose brilliance was so vast, so consuming, so electrifying that the world is still catching up to the voltage of his mind. This rigid panel behind the paint represents the industrial age he tried to reshape. The architectural background represents the storm he lived. Chaos, imagination, lightning held in human form. And the oil that will carve his features symbolizes everything Tesla tried to bring into the physical world. Ideas that vibrated too powerfully for society around him to hold. Nikola Tesla was born on a summer night in 1856 in Smilja, a small village in Croatia. Legend says he entered the world during a violent lightning storm. A midwife saw the flashes and said, "This is a child of darkness." His mother replied, "No, he will be a child of light." That prophecy shaped everything. From a young age, Tesla's mind was not like other children's. He saw numbers, patterns, and visions that frightened him. He had a photographic memory so complete that he could read entire books and recite them word for word years later. He learned languages quickly. He could visualize the mechanisms down to the smallest detail. But this gift came with torment. He suffered hallucinations, flashes of light, and uncontrollable storms of imagination. Where others saw the world as it was, Tesla saw the world as it could be, and the gap between the two nearly tore him apart. As this painting develops across the architectural panel, remember this: Tesla was not simply an inventor. He was a man trying to translate the language of the universe. His mother, Duca, was a brilliant self-taught inventor of household tools. Tesla often said his genius came from her, not from books, but from observation, creativity, and necessity. His father, an Oxford priest, wanted Tesla to follow in his footsteps, but Nikola saw a different calling. Electricity became his religion. When he entered engineering school, his professors accused him of cheating because he could solve complex mechanical problems without writing anything down. They did not understand a mind that could build machines entirely in thought. At age 22, Tesla broke down from exhaustion. His imagination and ambition consumed him. But even in collapse, he dreamed of machines that could change the world. As I lay paint into the contours of his face, know this: every genius pays for their brilliance. Tesla paid with his peace, his health, and eventually his life. Driven by vision, he left Europe for America. He arrived with 4 cents in his pocket, a letter of introduction, and a belief that America would understand him. Instead, he walked into the lion's den of capitalism. Thomas Edison, already established and powerful, became Tesla's employer. At first, Tesla admired him, but admiration turned to disillusion. Edison operated on trial and error. Tesla operated on precision and imagination. When Tesla proposed alternating current, AC power, Edison mocked him. Edison believed DC power was the future and refused to change. He even promised Tesla $50,000 to improve his DC generators. Tesla succeeded. Edison refused to pay. Tesla quit, broke, and betrayed. He dug ditches to survive, ditches for Edison's system. Imagine that. The man who would electrify the entire planet was digging holes for the man who tried to silence him. As the shadows deepen on his portrait, consider the shadows in his life. Tesla was not defeated. He rose again. He partnered with George Westinghouse, who saw genius in Tesla instantly. Together, they introduced AC power to the world. At the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, Tesla illuminated the night using AC electricity. Millions saw a city glowing for the first time in human history. It was a starting point. A world shifted towards Tesla's vision. But victory is never simple, and brilliance, true brilliance, creates enemies. Edison launched the smear campaign, electrocuting animals in public to scare people away from AC. The newspaper attacked Tesla as dangerous, reckless, foreign. In those days, xenophobia was a weapon as sharp as any tool. But the truth won. And today, every home, every building, every city that uses AC power is running on Tesla's dream. Now, as these strokes define Tesla's eyes, know this. He didn't just give us power, he gave us the very idea of a connected world. Radio, Tesla's patents. Remote control, Tesla. Neon lighting, Tesla. X-ray imaging, Tesla. Robotics, Tesla predicted it. Smartphones, Tesla predicted wireless communication long before networks existed. And perhaps his most ambitious dream, wireless energy, power sent through the air, free for all. Wardenclyffe Towers was his masterpiece, a massive transmitter designed to broadcast electricity across continents. But free power threatened the financial empires of the age. J.P. Morgan asked him, "Where do we put the meter?" Tesla answered, "There is no meter." And that was the end. Funding collapsed. The tower was abandoned. Newspapers ridiculed him. Competitors stole from him. The government seized his research. Wardenclyffe was eventually demolished. A lifetime of vision was shattered by greed and fear. As I add highlights to this portrait, understand that Tesla's downfall was not madness, it was idealism. He believed the world deserved free energy. He believed humanity could choose advancement over profit. He believed innovation should uplift society, not enrich a few. He was wrong about the system, but he was right about the future. His later years were tragic. He withdrew from society, living in a small room at the New York hotel. He fed pigeons for comfort, speaking to them as if they were his only companions. He wore gloves constantly, afraid of germs. He suffered obsessive routines and relentless insomnia. Letters went unanswered, patents expired unpaid. People called him eccentric, crazy, and irrelevant. But the truth is this, he wasn't out of ideas, the world was out of courage. Tesla died alone in 1943 with only his pigeons and his memories. The man who lit the world died in the dark. But death did not silence him. History resurrected him. Today, Tesla is not a forgotten genius. He is a symbol of pure innovation, of ambition without greed, of sacrifice for the sake of humanity. Now, this portrait stands as a reminder of what brilliance costs and what the world loses when it discards its visionaries. Tesla gave the world its future, and the world repaid him with neglect. But through this painting, through these layers of acrylic and oil, his story glows again. Electric, uncontained, alive. Tesla lit the world, and the question now is, will we ever learn to honor the light before we lose the next one? portrait stands complete. Tesla's face emerging from this architectural panel like electricity carving its way through steel. The acrylic beneath still whispered with the chaos of creation. The oil above glows with the intensity of a mind that saw the workings of the universe as clearly as we see daylight. Yet the truth of Tesla's life remains. The world embraces his gifts, but abandoned the giver. Let this painting remind us that genius is not always celebrated. Sometimes it's isolated. Sometimes it's punished. Sometimes it's left alone in the dark, while its inventions brighten every home on earth. As this image gazes back at you, it asks a single question. How many more Teslas walk among us, unseen, unheard, and unprotected? May this work stand as a tribute to brilliance, a warning against ignorance, and a promise that no light, no matter how misunderstood, ever truly dies. Thank you for joining me today on the KJL Podcast Channel. Your time, support, and creativity mean the world to me. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps keep this artistic journey alive and thriving. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a brushstroke, story, or inspiring moment. Your encouragement fuels the art, podcast, and everything we create together. Stay inspired, stay curious, and remember, every masterpiece begins with a single brushstroke. Until next time, this is Kenneth J. Lewis Sr. signing off from the KJL Podcast Channel. See you soon.